From time to time, we've been tempted to believe that society has become too complex to be managed by self-rule, that government by an elite group is superior to government for, by, and of the people. We are a nation that has a government, not the other way around. And this makes us special among the nations of the earth. Our government has no power except that granted it by the people. It is made up of men and women who raise our food, patrol our streets, man our mines and factories, teach our children, keep our homes, and heal us when we're sick. Professionals, industrialists, shopkeepers, clerks, cabbies, and truck drivers. They are, in short, we the people. Their patriotism is quiet but deep. Their values sustain our national life. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We will maintain sufficient strength to prevail if need be, knowing that if we do so, we have the best chance of never having to use that strength. Above all, we must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Well, I believe we, the Americans of today, are ready to act worthy of ourselves, ready to do what must be done to ensure happiness and liberty for ourselves, our children, and our children's children. We are a nation under God, and I believe God intended for us to be free.
Good shit, good shit. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's up, T?
What's going on?
Sax, man. I
Hey.
sent this leak to several other people, but we'll see if they show up. Ooh,
We have been MIA for a minute.
What now?
I said we have been MIA for a minute for one reason or another.
Yeah, hurricanes and all kinds of shit going on.
You got another one kind of looks like it may give us some issues.
Well, I think it's going to hit Maine is what I seen.
But you don't think we get to hit DC? I mean,
one could only hope.
That's what I'm saying. Flood the swamp.
DC and higher. That's great.
Yep. Only bad thing is all the homeless people get drowned by it because, you know, up there they ain't going to do a damn thing for them.
This is true, unless it washes them into some politician's house.
Oh, wait a minute now. Speaking of washing in people into people's houses, did y'all hear about the miniature insurrection that happened yesterday?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it.
No, I didn't.
Apparently a bunch of activists, yeah, that's what we call libtards. We don't call them insurrectionists, we call them activists. They decided that they wanted to camp out in McCarthy's office to protest him pushing forward some initiative to reinstate some AIDS thing. I don't know all the particulars, but they got all hauled out and, you know, put in handcuffs. I forget what the charge was, but it was an insurrection, and I'm willing to bet they're not going to get 325 years each for it, like everybody on, you know, Jan 6th. But
so there was leftists in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Camped out
Okay.
in his office while he was there.
That wasn't an insurrection. That was a erection.
Well,
Purple hair erection.
it was a small scale thing, but my whole point is, they do that shit, and it's like, it's okay.
Well, did you see fucking Harris? Okay, y'all's future president.
Yeah.
So she announced the dates, right? Pearl Harbor,
Oh, yeah.
9/11, and January the 6th. Are you fucking serious?
January 6th wasn't an insurrection. It was we all know what it was, and I'm going to leave it at that, simply because I don't want the brown shirts to give us a strike.
Well, the brown shirts can kiss my ass because 9/11 was a tragic event. Pearl Harbor, absolutely.
Yeah.
Horrific, okay. January 6th, nowhere near falls into that category.
January 6th was not even really, in my view, January 6th was not even really anything other than a protest.
January 6th was no worse than, whenever the Dems were sitting there banging on the doors of the Kavanaugh hearings, literally shaking them off of their hinges there.
Yep.
It's no different.
I'll tell you a worse date that should have been rolled into that, right? But they don't do that. So you got Pearl Harbor, you got 9/11, then you got August 26, 2021, which is when 13 American soldiers died.
That's it. Right
Out
there. Yes, sir.
in Afghanistan. That's what the fuck you should have said.
Yep.
I mean,
Well,
that's what's important to me.
Yeah. Yeah, those lives were lost for no reason other than ineptitude and just didn't give a shit. I'm really, really pissed about the fact that Bedshitter didn't even bother to show up at one of the memorials yesterday.
Well, I mean, I heard that Haagen-Dazs was having a sale in Alaska.
You could even throw in the 1983 U.S. Senate bombing.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, that was, leftists that did that. So that'll never go through.
Wasn't it the Weather Underground that did that?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Well, maybe the president was at the ceremony.
What was that?
Maybe the president was at the ceremony. Come on, Harris.
Yeah, okay. Oh, my guess is that, somewhere in Alaska there was a Walmart with a special, 2-for-1 kids underwear, and he beat feet up there. He want to catch that sale. I don't know.
I'm sticking with the Haagen-Dazs 2 scoops, double the poop. That's probably what he.
Yeah. Free sprinkles. You're probably right.
What a piece of shit, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if y'all have noticed or not, but whenever you see him now, he looks so disheveled. He looks like somebody they slapped a suit on they found under a bridge.
Yeah. So did you watch or hear the video of him talking?
No, I have not.
Oh my God.
Give me the Cliff Notes.
Yeah. So we're listening to Matt Walsh today, and dude's in Vietnam, right? And he's talking up there. Hey, I, for one, I'm going to bed. And then it's like, oh shit, what did he just say? And yeah, he just stops. He pulls a Mitch McConnell. And it's great, man. And then the best thing about it is, at the very ass end, he's sitting there talking. Everybody did, I like panties and ice cream. And all of a sudden, this jazz music starts playing over the loudspeakers in this place to shut him up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Oh my God, it's great.
Oh, it's such a clown car disaster. I mean, I wonder if they have to steam clean Air Force One every time that bed shit and fucktard gets off of it.
Oh God.
Well,
They probably got those little Walmarts. You remember during the pandemic when they had the little Walmart arrows, go this way so you don't run into somebody with COVID. I'm sure as shit that they have those right
It
down.
don't do no good. It don't do no good. Remember that one scene where he was at Camp David and he had Secret Service sitting there trying to direct him? His ass just kept walking off into the damn field.
Right. I
Remember
smell
that?
something. Yeah.
Go this way. Go this way. He just keeps going.
He's a freaking bloodhound, man.
Oh shit! Only in America, guys. Only in America.
81 million votes, people. 81 million votes.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, did you see where Pickle Puss Pelosi's trying to come back?
Oh yeah. I hope she runs, and I hope she just somebody with half a fucking brain cell pops up in there and just trounces her, and then maybe shitting on the sidewalk won't be legal.
Well, but here's the thing: she wins.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's fucking voting for her. I mean, how if you live in her district, how in the fuck do you keep voting for that pickled ass hag living where you live?
I don't know. Well, so actually, I do know. So if you're one of the homeless or people that don't want, especially after the whole COVID thing, if you don't want to work, they send you a check.
Okay, but
And I mean, there's greats aplenty there, so you can find yourself a great. Just hop up there, stick it in your bank account, and
wait a minute. Now, hold on. Now we got some issues because if you're homeless, don't you have to have an address?
well, you say, yeah, where do I send this check? Just the corner of 8th and Elm over here,
That's what I'm saying.
right by the big
FedEx guy come roll it up and hand it to you. I mean,
right by the huge big pile of human feces. You can't miss
they
it.
probably have a shelter or something,
Yeah,
They'll show up,
Maybe.
checks, or it's direct deposit into their state-appointed checking account.
well,
this is true because you can go to Wally World and get you a bank account open for $5.
Well, it sounds like the whole fucking city's turning into a shelter.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Why would it not? If you're getting paid to do nothing, and then you're sitting there also wanting to, reparate 75% of your population, why would they vote against her?
did you see where the California is not wanting reparations?
I did not.
Yeah, the majority of people in California don't want this shit.
Do you blame them?
Maybe somebody's
Well, I'm
waking up.
saying, with it being a big ass welfare state, I'm kind of surprised.
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, there's
I guess when everybody's waking up to, how much am I going to have to pay out of pocket for this?
well, they're probably tired of stepping out the damn apartment door and stepping in shit.
Right.
No. I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is gonna get us in trouble. So here's the truth. Okay, so in California, you are governed by your annual income as to where you can live at. Okay. Let's say they kick in these reparations, right? Y'all with me?
Yeah.
You got your fucking 7th grade dropouts that's been selling fucking crack rock on the corner for the last 15 years. All of a sudden, they're getting, I don't know, 20 grand a month reparations, right? So that knocks them up into a category where they can move into a gated community with all their bullshit. You with me? So now you see the logic, right?
Oh shit! I can just see it.
Oh
now.
yeah.
Oceanside in the hood.
It'd be just like Fresh Prince, man.
I'm just throwing it out there. You got to think outside the box, right?
Only with crack pipes.
You got this person that's over here fucking cleaning gutters on mansions and shit, trying to make $100 grand a year so they can live in a 1-bedroom apartment because that's what they say they're allowed to live in, right? And then you got this fucker that was in Section 8 housing last month, living in one of the biggest upstate villas in California because they've got a net worth coming in at $250,000 a year.
But I think if you lump summed it, then about 90% of that would be gone within 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Plus,
but
nobody wants a Dollar Tree in their gated community
Not yet, anyways.
or a Wingstop or an American Burger.
well, being we were talking about our wonderful politicians and 81 million vote recipient. So McCarthy seems to be pushing the paperwork on the indictment. I mean, impeachment.
Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube, I said the wrong thing. Impeachment.
Oh, he needs to do something. Now, you saw where Matt Gaetz is getting up in his ass, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're holding his feet to the fire, saying, "Look, you make concessions for us to put you as fucking speaker. We can remove you as speaker." So, I'm curious to see how that all plays out. I mean, if they impeach Bedshitter, do you think it's going to do anything?
No.
I think it's just going to be symbolic.
It's going to put camel toe in there, and then she'll, as the president, you can pick who your VP is going to be, right? It doesn't automatically put McCarthy in there. So she would probably pick somebody like fucking Newsom or some shit. Or Pelosi.
She could pick Michael.
This is true. Or Oprah.
Well, speaking of Michael, you saw the thing with Tucker Carlson that came up this past week about apparently Obama's Maximus hasn't gave up her.
True.
I've seen that.
So it makes so much sense now. I mean, that just makes so much sense. If that's true, that's true. That just, to me, so many things make so much more sense now.
Adam's apple in a bulge, man.
I'm telling you, Michael's got more damn testosterone than her husband.
He always struck me as kind of metrosexual.
I don't know what the hell it was. Sure as hell should have been president, that's for sure.
No.
I could say some shit, but I'm not going to.
Well, being we're going down kind of this path talking about politicians, right? So I want to talk about something, and then I'm going to lead into something else.
All right.
So, word on the street, and this has been on the news, YouTube, of North Korea being pulled in as a pawn, right?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that. So, having meetings with Putin and all this good shit, with weapons trades and all that good shit. Now, we're talking psycho North Korea, right? So, here's the thing. Did all of you know that Putin, when he first got into power, wanted to join NATO?
No, I did not.
He did. Guess who shut it down? Bill Clinton.
No shit.
He did. Sure did. When Putin first got in, he wanted to join NATO, and Bill Clinton shut him down, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. So the reason why, Russia is considered a superpower.
Yeah.
Along with China, and then America, and then people kind of don't pay attention to other countries, right? So what happened, Bill Clinton could see Putin becoming the big brother, right? And then that would mean if Russia would have moved into NATO and became the superpower, which outranked the U.S., right? We would no longer have that levy for all of the other countries that are in NATO. Because right now, the U.S. gets to tell everybody else in NATO what to do. was aggressive. That was the most aggressive scratching I ever heard.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry.
Oh shit! That made my day.
Oh god! Oh,
So Sax, man, you may have knew that. Did you know Putin? Did you know Putin tried to join the NATO?
I did not. I just knew that Clinton was a traitor back in when the oh god that plane got intercepted and landed, and they had
Yeah, in UAE, didn't he?
do what?
Didn't he have? You're talking about the people who did 9/11, or
No. I'm talking about there was a plane that got intercepted over there near China, and
Okay.
The Chinese forced it down, and they say there's a fail safe on there that disables all the computer equipment and stuff like that. So the crew said, yeah, we disabled it, blah blah blah, but they kept the plane. They kept all the info in the plane. And it was not, I don't think it was like an AWACS or anything, but it was something close. It was some sort of, oh, what do you call it? Like a surveillance
Right.
plane. Yeah. And he kind of pussyfooted around and never got it back.
Big surprise.
Okay. Stop scratching.
That was funny.
So
Oh,
that was the reasoning behind keeping them out, is because that would have shifted the power to be in the NATO. Right. So that was the fear, is that the U.S. would no longer be the head of NATO. I think that we are about to come to the point where that's going to be a big fucking regret right there.
Yeah, I think so too, because I think, and I'm gonna try to be pragmatic here, maybe. That's the right definition. We could have got a lot more accomplished with Russia being friends than enemies.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at how much money and time and effort is wasted trying to posture against one another. I mean,
What's up, Highlander? Good to see you, buddy.
and now we figured out, finally, after doing this since 1947, that Russia's army is shit. The only thing that they have going for them is nukes, lots of nukes.
Speaking of nukes, I can roll into another conversation. So, did you see the situation between Elon Musk?
no.
Y'all see that?
What's up?
So the government wanted Elon Musk to initiate a Starlink, something to do. Let me pull it up. And Elon Musk, this is what I'm going to pull it up to make sure I'm correct. But by what I seen, Russia actually contacted Elon Musk directly and said, if you do this, we will launch a fucking nuke. And Elon Musk was like, oh, yep, we're not doing that. So let me see. I'm just going to. All right, so the Elon Russia tweet. Apparently, this happened like 3 days ago.
Okay.
Okay, so this is on Fortune, a Fortune magazine site. So it says that Elon Musk embroiled in a war of words with Russian space chief. And he also tweeted, well, on X, said, "If I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you." The billionaire Tesla co-founder told his 91.6 million Twitter followers on Sunday night after claiming he had been threatened by a top Russian official over SpaceX use of its Starlink satellites to provide internet to Ukraine. So what he's saying is if he launched them and provided Starlink support to the Ukraine, that they were going to counterattack.
Okay.
So that was a direct threat to Elon Musk himself.
Well, it's nice to know that the U.S. government has the balls to ask a private citizen to do that sort of thing.
Well, I'm just glad that. Here's the thing, though. I thought that he already provided Starlink for them back when all this shit started in
They
Ukraine.
never did. That was all bullshit.
Okay. But you remember what I'm talking about, because I could have sworn I remember a news story about it.
Yeah, it never happened. I told you I got people over there and shit. No,
Right.
their phones and shit work flawlessly on their normal provider.
Okay.
Sketchy at times, but I mean it worked.
Okay.
That's one of those don't believe everything you see on TV shit,
Well, there's a bunch. I'm sitting here. I pulled up the article that you were talking about, and everybody is slamming Elon Musk for like the Guardian. Elon Musk is a lesson in dangers of unchecked corporate leaders. Let's see. Ukraine live updates. This is on USA Today. Warren seeks probe of Musk's Starlink behavior. See, they're pissed off because he wouldn't do what they wanted, and so they're trying to drag his name through the mud.
Oh yeah, and pissed off at the fact that he basically isn't. I mean, like I said, the guy's no conservative, but he's no social justice warrior either. And
No, he's playing middle of the lane, middle of the road, which is fine. I'm fine with that. But the plus that I see from him is freedom of speech. I mean, he's not censoring any side.
No, he's not.
I'm cool with that. That's what freedom of speech is let everybody say their bullshit, no matter how vulgar it is. I don't know. I mean, the nation is just so sensitive to words now. Anyway,
you really got to be suspect of a country ours that would be pissed off at an individual wanting to let people have free speech, which is in the Constitution. Huh. Yeah. Go figure that.
Well, it's just like the dude that, not to take a sidebar here, but what about the guy that they're throwing a book at for being outside the Capitol on January 6th, and he got, I forget how many years in prison? And he, all he's doing is his First Amendment.
Yeah.
Never stepped foot in there, never did anything, and they're throwing a book at him.
Enter Moose.
I'm here. Let's go.
You have people, you have pedophiles, you have serial child rapists, you have murderers that get less time.
Mm-hmm. These are political prisoners they're making examples of. Nothing less. This is the country we've allowed to warp itself into.
Oh yeah, it's fucking Canada.
Yeah, it's headed that way. It damn sure sounds like a Trudeau-esque.
Well, yeah, I mean, you track their progress into socialism. we're only like 2 years off of what, how they accomplished it.
Well, I hope we don't slide off in the deep end like they did, but the way things are going,
Well, well, yeah. So right now we're ruled by basically, gerontocracy. They have people in there that are 70 plus years old telling us how to live, but they're highly influenced by, these little bastards. Well, yeah, money, but it's control, man. It's nothing but control. It's, we want to tell you how to think. We want to tell you how to live. What you can't say inside of a church, what you can't say. It's everything that was in the Constitution that was a God-given right is no longer a God-given right. As New Mexico comes to mind right now. Their governess talking about, what, we're just going to suspend Second Amendment right now.
Well, they lifted that, didn't they?
Oh yeah, well she if you actually look at the entire little speech that she gave, I mean, she said, "I'm going to do this, even though I know it's going to get overruled in the court or overturned in the courts, even though I know that the bad guys aren't going to abide by this. I'm going to do it to do something."
What I didn't understand was why she just didn't come out and say what she really wanted to do, which was suspend the Constitution.
Well, she may as well have. I mean, everybody else in the room was saying it. But, as a good communist, you can't really come out and say what you want to do with the country. You got to kind of be a little bit slick about it. Although, in the past 2 years, they've gotten a lot more vocal about their disdain and utter hatred for the American public. So,
yep.
and the American ideal.
Yep.
Well, good news. I got some good news. I want to shine a little light. Well, everybody. Well, I don't. If I say this, it's going to kind of give. So I'll just say it this way. So Governor Kemp has declared a state of emergency in response to the high inflation, blaming policies coming from Washington, D.C. What does that mean for Georgians? All right. So Kemp has suspended Georgia excess tax. Taxes enforced on particular goods, services, activities, on motor and local motor fuel. So in the press on Tuesday, he has let it be known that he will be suspending all taxes on fuel. No taxes on fuel.
Good deal.
Why do y'all get the break?
Look, a lot of people don't like Kemp, but a lot of people don't know what Kemp did for the school systems either. I mean, Stacks, man, what, you got a heart monitor on over there?
That's not me.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no, that's my son listening to the podcast on TV. And so it's going, I hear it now.
That was his son, see?
And just let you know I'm alive.
So that's supposed to drop fuel prices by 3.71%, which is 31 to 35 cents per gallon.
Okay. That's cool, but what I see happening is the fuel companies will just keep upping the price to get back to where they were at.
Yeah, they did that last time.
I mean, don't get me wrong, shaving some of the money off the pump is great, but I kind of think he's doing this in response to that whole Fannie Willis bullshit the week before. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, could be. There's always look. I'm always speculative about a hidden agenda, right?
Right.
There's always something. He didn't just wake up and put his panties on this morning and say, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking help the populace out in Georgia." Something had to motivate him, and you may be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, this could be damage control. I mean, he can't run for another term, right? He's done. Governor, can they do more than 2 terms?
Depends on the state you're in.
Okay.
Y'all hold it down for a minute. I got a call.
Just extend the term limit.
I'm holding it down, dude, but it's starting to kick and scream.
So hey, while he's on a call, check this out. Student loan debt, it's still a thing, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the total student loan debt in the U.S., $1.77 trillion.
That's it.
43.5 million people owe that money. Okay.
Wow.
Now, of course, they're wanting to do, student loan forgiveness across the board. So you're going to make 33.19 million people pay that debt of $1.77 trillion, because you can't just say, "Oh, it's gone." You got to pay for it. Somebody got to pay for it.
Well, now with democratic math now.
That's just as true. Yeah, they just print more money.
They just make shit up.
Right.
They have
But
no print up money.
yeah, can you imagine though? That's quite a chunk of change right there. And I don't know what our GDP is, but
Hey, thanks, man.
our GDP is 22 trillion.
I would have just figured it was more than that, honestly.
Well, so it's not.
I would have been guessing
Population.
5 trillion in student loans. Just saying. Because, I mean, I know guys that graduated a college that tuition was, and this was if you were living in the dorms, it was like $4,000 a semester. And they graduated and they owed like $100,000.
Yeah.
120,000, and
Yep.
like you're going to be a damn football coach. You're a high school football coach at that. You're never going to pay that back. So good luck there, buddy. Math teacher or something. No, I'm not knocking math teachers and football coaches. I'm just saying, unless you get to the collegiate level or professional level, you're never going to be able to afford to pay all that money back. You'll be 60 or 65 years old.
Well, you might pay it back, but you'll live in poverty for the first 20 years of your career.
Yeah. Now, this whole, like I said, the whole talk of, student loan forgiveness. How about this? How about you make all these colleges that did that repay the student loan instead? Because if you're a college and you can pay some coach $300 million to coach a college team, then you got cash to spare. I mean, it's football. It's not rocket science. You guys, you up on the front, you block. You guys in the back, you either run or you catch the ball. I love football.
Look, dude, I agree with you, except I think LSU should be exempt from that. But everyone else has to do what you just said.
Does LSU even have a team?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they.
We got uniforms and a band. Really nice. You got to come down to a ball game.
I thought they did bowling or something. I didn't know they played football.
Oh, here we go.
Just
But
messing with you. Just messing with you.
They're gonna whip the shit out of your sooner.
There's a long distance whipping.
Well, it's. I think they start talking about this loan forgiveness and everything else. Let's face it, it's to pander for votes.
Yeah.
With the current regime we have and the politicians we have in D.C., they don't know what the fuck a balanced budget is. They think that's hate speech. They're perfectly happy kicking the can down 8 or 9 generations to pay for whatever they're fucking up today. And the problem with that is, you can promise all this shit to stay in power, but at some point, that debt's got to be paid.
Oh yeah, I mean it's chickens come home to roost at some point, and it depends on whose grandkids we're going to lay this on. Oh, speaking of elected officials, I think we already covered this, but y'all saw Brandon Herrera's running, right? Down in Texas?
Yeah.
Which is funny because his the incumbent now has started visiting, gotten shots of himself going to gun stores and stuff like that.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
Kind of a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can hope. We can hope that this next election coming up, something changes. But given all the shady shit I've seen transpire over this past 4 years, I don't have a lot of faith.
My brother said something, and it was something I hadn't even thought about. He said the last election, they cheated, obviously. He said, but what they did was they've been getting away with it, let's say in California, for so long that they just said, all right, we'll just do it on a national scale and test it and see how it works. And it worked. Well, you honestly think they're going to stop?
Well, I believe that each election cycle will be a new challenge, and we'll leave it at that. Everybody here has got more than 30 IQ points, knows exactly what I'm saying.
Might give up the old trick if the old trick works, just add something to it.
Well, I mean, just think of it, they're trying to improve the recipe.
That's all they're doing.
But the thing is that I honestly believe that the DNC is scared. They really do not want Trump running because they have nothing to throw against him. Bedshitter has no wins. He has nothing in the win column.
He most certainly does.
What?
Well, he's got high inflation. He's got, his son's a crackhead. He's looking to possibly do prison time. He's got a bunch of wins. Depends how you look at it.
I tell you what,
He's
that
been
sleepy
in
son.
public office. Hang on. He's been in public office for over, we'll just say 50 years. He's been in public office for 50 years, making $167,000 a year, and he's going to retire a multi.
I understand that. But I'm talking about he has nothing in the win column for what he's done for the country.
Well, you need to be a little more specific.
Well, I mean, he's taking care of the Bottom Crown family. I mean, they're set.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely that.
Yeah, they'll probably buy the Epstein Island when they're done.
Speaking of, is anyone figured out about? Because everyone knows, Vanguard knows what I'm fixing to ask.
I know what you're going to ask.
Cocaine White House update. I'm not letting it go.
I don't know. Last thing I heard, somebody spilled some sugar. I don't know.
Case has been closed.
Yep. They're not going to kick that rock because they know who it belongs to and they know what it's from, and they don't want to go down that road because it completely yanks the damn rug out from under them.
I'm not going to let it go. So
don't. I mean,
and who would you rather have in office anyway? Kamala?
At this point,
or this
I don't
guy?
think it really matters.
No, it doesn't matter. But the whole even if you were to get rid of him, or he went off to see Jesus or whatever deity he subscribes to, um,
I think he's a Scientologist.
probably, um, but they're going to count that as a big W in their column if even if he passes off this mortal coil, if you have her as the president. And it it doesn't matter because the left is a cult, and they just love anything that the only thing that would be better is if you had somebody that was a multiracial, transgender, uh, pick your alphabet in there right now.
It would have to be a lesbian Filipino, identifies as a Chihuahua, pink hair, nose ring, transsexual.
Yeah, sure. Just throw out anything.
I mean, that it'd have to be that fucked up.
Indigenous.
That middle
Yeah.
image is going to haunt me. Please don't ever do that again.
Well, okay. Here's what I'm thinking. I've been watching some of this shit with all the stuff that they're throwing at Trump. Whether you like the man or not, and that's I get it. He's not perfect, but they're throwing shit at him that to me is petty in a lot of levels. And it's like they're trying to just make up shit, throw it at a wall to try and do anything they can to either smear him or this whole stunt they're trying to pull down. You saw some of these states are trying to get him yanked off the ballot, right?
Oh yeah.
They're trying to get him removed from the ballot. Now, here's a question for that. Even if you remove somebody from the ballot, you can still write someone in on said ballot, correct?
Yep.
So, how's that balance? I mean, you can bet your ass that with the current people we got running, that's who I'm going to vote for.
Right.
Myself. Now, what everybody else votes for, it's their prerogative. But I'm going to. And as I said, is he perfect? No, but, sometimes you need a snake to fight the snake.
Exactly.
And he can't be bought, so that's a win. So, that's just my 2 cents.
I just wish they would take the phone away from them so he can't tweet or something. I mean, that's my only complaint. I'm just like, this dude creates more bullshit for himself by doing stuff like that.
Well, but see, if he was Democrat, it wouldn't be a problem.
This is true. Sleepy Joe sits there. Well, his handlers actually sit there and tweet or X every morning.
They tweeted out praising Saudi Arabia yesterday, and then they're going to give them like $200 million or $200 billion.
Oh yeah, for driving 2 planes into the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Saudi Arabia or Iran?
I think it was Saudis.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he do some kind of prisoner swap with Iran?
Yeah, that's what the essential the money was. But he's got to give. I think he's giving the money to Saudi Arabia, and then Saudi Arabia is going to do something with it, give it to Iran, and then they're going to give like 6 prisoners back or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's some kind of prisoner swap going on with that too. So, but yeah, he announced all that praising Saudi Arabia yesterday on 9/11. I'm like, dude, if you were smart, you would have waited till 9/12 to do that one.
Yeah, I mean that in itself is a disgrace.
Everybody. I mean, not everybody, but it's a forgotten thing, man.
I'll never forget it. I know exactly where I was when I was doing when it happened.
Me too. I absolutely burned into my head.
Where I was when I found out, so I can promise y'all that y'all be like, "Whoa, stop there."
In fact, I was getting live footage from ABC when it was happening.
I'll just say, when it was on the radio and I heard it, I thought Bob and Tom were pulling a practical joke, because these are the same people that had said there's a whale in the Red River trap. Stop and pour salt out, so otherwise it'll die. And people were stopping on the I-20 bridge pouring salt out. And that's what they did on April Fool's Day. And then they're coming over the radio saying this, and I'm going, yeah, this is a joke. And so then I get to a gas station, and the gas station attendant told me, but like I said, y'all don't want to know. I was in the shower, getting ready to go to class and all that work, and yeah, I stopped at the gas station by my house, and the gas station attendant was like, "Hey, have you heard what's going on?" I was like, "Nah, I've heard something. I think it's a joke." She goes, "It's not a joke. Turn around and look at the TV." I turned around and looked at the TV, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yep.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, it was where I was at. I was talking to a manager in a kitchen, making a delivery to her, and she was on the phone with her daughter, who was in the lobby of one of those buildings when it happened. And then the phone went dead.
That'll stop your heart.
I had a cousin that was working in the Pentagon, and when it happened, and his wife was calling up there to see if if he was still alive, because where that plane hit, right there on his side of the building.
Right.
And his wife was freaking out. His wife was like, "Oh yeah, we've seen him walking around. He's good. He's alive. He's good." She was like, "Oh, thank God." I mean, it was crazy.
I remember how eerie it was for the next few days after that happened, because there was no aircraft. All you had was military planes flying cat. That was it.
One thing that, it kills me that it takes a tragedy like that to bring America together. I mean, you couldn't find an American flag in a store for months.
No.
I mean, everybody was flying the American flag, maybe 2 or 3 of them off their house, off their cars. It just, it made me proud, but at the next breath, it just really hurt me that it took something like that to bring us together.
Well, but you got to also understand this, and I'm not trying to throw shade on the tragedy of 9/11, but at the same time, 9/11 allowed the war machine to make billions of dollars.
Oh, they made more. I'd say they probably made a couple of trillion.
Well, they may have, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Let's just be honest. I think 9/11 probably could have been avoided. Now, the question is, and I'm posing this as a question, I'm not saying whether I know one way or the other, but how many intelligence agencies knew there was a viable threat and didn't act?
Yeah. If you're already on a watch list, and the people are already,
There's one with an IA in it, and they knew, I think, that it was going to happen. They came out, that got surfaced, I think, on 9/11, after the Trade Center fell.
Well, the thing is, what about the fucktards that were teaching how to fly fucking airplanes, and Abu and Abib were saying we don't need to know how to land? Shouldn't that set off a fucking warning? I mean, a ding, 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 ding. You got a motherfucker sitting here that's from across the water. He's wanting to learn how to drive a commercial aircraft, but he don't want to learn how to land it.
Well, you don't need to know how to land it, man.
Put down the...
Landing, that's details. That's minor details, okay? It's the takeoff and flying it you need to know.
What kills me is in the space of 3 weeks, this current regime just shit on 22 years worth of, blood and treasure of teenagers, 20-year-olds, 20-some-odd-year-olds. Yeah. That's a sore spot for me.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, they just shit on everything that, good or bad, that we did in the past 22 years over there, and that's just the Americans, not to mention the Afghanis that were actually helping us.
You mean the ones we left behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fixing to get really mad, so I better stop. I don't want to get us kicked off YouTube, so I'm gonna stop.
There you go. Good man. I mean, it's unfortunate that so many people / entities voted for bedshitter theme, and now we're riding the dragon because of it.
Yep.
And, this is going to have a rippling effect. And if we don't right the ship this next election, we're fucked. This republic's done. We'll be a socialist regime before. I mean, you might as well just accept it. The republic's done. It might be a Republican name only.
Well, yeah. You look across the world, and anytime you see People's Republic of or Democratic Republic of, yeah, it's not a good thing, man.
No. Well, speaking of that, has anybody seen any of these articles about China lately? About how China's actually dying from within?
Oh yeah.
That they're I guess the way China's set up, they can't. This is speculative because I haven't read the whole article, but from what I've gathered, it sounds like they can't support the number of people they have. And while yes, they have technological advancement or architectural advancement or whatever, they can't produce enough food. They can't produce. I mean, they don't have enough housing. It's just their society is collapsing in on itself because they're outpacing it. So,
yeah. You see
Japan's doing the exact opposite of that. Did you see that?
Yep.
They're saying Japan's gonna kill off itself because there was a big scare, and inflation over there. Now listen to this: inflation in Japan skyrocketed in the 80s, like insanely skyrocketed. So people quit having children because kids are expensive. Let's face it, kids are very expensive for anybody. So they quit having kids, right? So now the problem they're running into is there's not enough younger generation to take care of the older generation. There's not enough younger generation to produce and manufacturing and stuff like that in order to take care of the nation. And Japan has one of the most strict laws about outsiders coming in and getting citizenship.
Yeah.
So people's not moving in and they're not populating. So, yeah. That's gonna be a big issue.
I believe Germany was having the same issue a while back.
Well, I mean,
but yeah, anytime that talking about China and not being able to feed what you have, whenever you're a superpower like that and you're floundering, kind of struggling to, that's a great reason right there to take over, resources of other countries.
Not only that, that is a good reason to implicate war, because not only does that gain new territory, it instantly decreases the population.
True.
I mean, you think about it. You send 500,000 soldiers into war. Half of them ain't fucking coming back. especially with modern technology like we have now. I mean, if you go into a foot war, man, it's going to be absolutely insane. The massive death that would occur in a modern day war would be just you couldn't imagine.
No, absolutely not. Because you're going to have so many things done with a push of a button. I mean, you could lose an entire regiment to a couple of drones. I mean, it's going to be bloody, and it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be hell on earth. It'll be unlike anything anyone's ever seen.
Well, I mean, and there's some bases there on that Sachs, man, with China, because I seen an article where China is actually working on a patent for a stronger EMP, like a land crushing EMP, right? And when I say land crushing, that means mass divide of energy, which means they'll take out major areas, right? Like it actually says that they're working on this, the inventors and blah, 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 whoever, the little lab coats, they're working on specific EMPs that'll take out bases, of, let's say America, right? And they actually call them suitcase EMPs. Do you know how easy that would be to sneak into a country?
Oh, especially the southern border right now.
Well, especially when we let a fucking balloon float all the way across our country.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about, man? That balloon was just checking the weather.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, literally, there's three places in the world that are great grain producers. That'd be in America, the Ukraine, and parts of the Soviet Union. Now, right now, the Soviets and the Chinese aren't getting along too well. But yeah, you're right. You EMP Minot, North Dakota, and parts of Alaska, you've got an open door.
Yeah.
The thing is, they already have land here. They already have establishments. I mean, they've found labs.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just speculating and saying here, if I was going to try to take down a great nation, right, it would be from within, and it would be cut off communications. What do you do in a war, right? You cut off communications, you cut off supply.
Yep. Exactly.
And the thing is, and it's not going to be the outsiders that has to do the damage in our fucked up country that we have. So y'all follow me on that. So if they set off an EMP, okay, and you got all these people running around that are completely reliant on their electronical handheld devices, right? I mean, I've seen people nut up because a text message didn't go through. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if their phone completely quit.
All right, I'll take you a step further. Imagine if the car won't start.
Well, that too. You're gonna. So what that's gonna initiate an EMP. What that would start is infighting on a level that you would not be able to imagine. Looting would go through the roof, and we're talking every town, right? And I mean, you got to think about it. Even your law-abiding citizens, right, that lives in these small towns, they're going to go to these stores and say, "Hey, I need these supplies." The store's going to say, "I can't sell it to you." So at that point, it's fight or flight, right? You're going to have to take what you got to take. I mean, it becomes a scavenger then.
So yeah, just pulled this up on govinfo.gov, right? Yeah, during either a geomagnetic superstorm or an EMP attack from terrorist or rogue states. Yeah, they're estimating 9 of 10 Americans would die through starvation, disease, and just outright getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
9.
If you're in an urban area, you're fucked.
Hey, while he's doing that, I gotta go. Hopped on, say hi, kind of shoot shit for a minute, and
I'll see y'all Thursday night.
All right, brother.
Glad
Peace.
to
Yeah, Moose.
My word of advice is not how much you can save. My grandpa always used to say, it's not how much you can say or how much you make, it's how much you can save. And I asked him, I said, so you're telling me if I make $1 million and only spend 100,000 of it and save 900,000? He said, you are a very rich man. And I said, okay, if I make $10,000 and I spend all 10,000 of it, he said, you're an idiot. So it's not what you can make, it's how much you can save.
Okay.
So anybody wanting their student loans forgiven and all that crap, get off your ass and go get a job.
I agree.
I'm out. See y'all Thursday, okay?
Deuces.
Hey, Moose.
So we're EMP. We're talking just complete chaos. I mean, it would be just insane. The rich would no longer be rich. The poor would no longer be poor. Everybody would be on an equal playing field, right? Except for those that's going to get shot over to a shelter, right?
FEMA camps.
Yeah, Well, I'm talking about the elite that's got their underground bunkers and shit, right?
Yep, those bunkers are only as good as long as they've got somebody to watch their ass.
Right.
Because they're not going to be doing it. They're going to expect their hired help to handle everything.
Yeah, they're hired help. What's going to come to mind with them? Getting home and taking care of theirs.
Mm-hmm. So they were able to turn on the rich people, put their ass outside the wire, and bring their people in.
Well, the thing is, and we've said this on here a million times. You gotta be ready. Don't get ready, right?
Yep.
Now, I can honestly say, all of my shit is not protected from an EMP situation. It's not. Nobody's is, right? We're not wrapping our entire vehicles.
No.
But the fact of the matter is, I've built my entire adult life around preparedness.
Right.
And not just for an EMP, but if you prepare yourself for bad weather or whatever the case may be, you're kind of in the ballpark. Me, I'm going to be fine. The motherfuckers that try to come over here is not going to be fine. And we talked a little bit about this earlier. But my point being is if you're not ready, you need to get there quick, like yesterday.
Yep. I agree.
Because you got to think, if an EMP hits, how the hell are you going to get the information saying that it happened? Here, I'll give you a hint. When you rolling down the road, headed up to the Starbucks to get you choca latte frappe with fucking non-fat dairy whipped topping, okay? And everybody's car just stops running. You think you're in a traffic jam, and you're like, holy shit, what the hell's going on up here? It just happened. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, when your XM radio just is static, everybody else's car broke down, you're gonna be saying, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
So, but I think a lot of people, Vanguard, just they can't wrap their head around the concept of something like that happening. They've been numb. They've been basically numb to it because to them, that's shit that happens on TV. And you can tell them to you blue in the face, and they just look at you like you have three eyes. And it's like, look, just understand that I'm trying to give you the knowledge so you can better prepare to take care of you and yours. Don't come banging on my fucking door.
Very, very important right here. And I think I posted this in the chat. So October 4th, they're going to be doing a nationwide test. Okay.
Yes, they are.
And it's supposed to be what? It's a series of 3 different tests, right? It's FEMA,
Presidential Alert, FEMA, and
Amber Alert.
Yeah.
So those 3 are supposed to happen, right? So what I can predict happening is a complete overload of the system.
Yep.
Complete overload, right?
Yep.
So it was just a few days at work, everybody that had Verizon or anything like that, everything just shut down, quit working. Mine included, right? So everybody's Verizon just stopped. And they're like, holy shit, what's going on? And I'm like, it'll be back, And I said that with not a lot of confidence, but
Right.
But anyway, that lasted for like 3 hours. So what are the chances that every single Verizon tower or their proximeters and everything went down for 3 hours that blacked out an entire area? And when I say blacked out an entire area, I'm talking at least 200-mile area.
Right.
And you can't travel 200 miles without seeing a cell phone tower. So
Well, you remember,
if a tower went down is bullshit,
Well, you remember when they blew up that shit in Nashville and how it fucked up the whole Southeast. You had entire corridors through states with no cell service.
Yeah.
And that was one relay station, one that did all that. So people need to wake the fuck up. Truly do.
Well, we're going to see on October the 4th.
Yeah, we will. We will.
I'm just not very trusting.
No, I'm not. When they start telling you they're about to do some shit, it makes me wonder. It's kind of like when they did that, I forget what they called this, back when Obama's Maximus was in office, and they had all these military operations going on in cities. And it was supposed to...
Jade Helm.
It's supposed to be a training... They had a name for it. I can't think what it was, but it was...
Jade Helm.
Is that what it was, Jade Helm?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And when I start seeing orchestrated shit like that that's nationwide, I get real suspicious.
Like I said, if I were a bad guy and I wanted to do something bad, that would be the day that I would do it.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to come over everybody's phones, all the TVs, everything, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That is a mass broadcast right there, buddy. I mean, that's... Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll find out. I hope we're wrong, but it makes you wonder because that the networks and everything are not going to be able to handle this.
No, hell no.
The infrastructure is not going to be able to.
So I think Thursday, and out there in the chat, y'all tell me if y'all agree with this. I think Thursday we need to kind of go over Faraday protection and some, like do-it-yourself techniques that you can actually do to save some of your stuff. See, a lot of people's concerned with their optics and stuff on their weapons and stuff like that. I'm more concerned about other devices such as generators and things of that nature, right? If my optics goes out, it's not the end of the world. It could take away some of your longer range abilities, but I mean, you could pop that shit off and keep on using. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, as far as getting out there and rebuilding a magneto and rewiring some shit to get it running, that's another story.
Yeah.
This can zap your batteries. Your batteries are gone, right?
Yep.
So, I don't want to get into it deep here, but like throwing a car battery inside of a microwave or something of that nature, or using microwave panels to be able to create your own Faraday box. we'll go over that.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. So a lot of people, you know, we ramble on about a lot of things on here and don't really go into detail on some shit. So we'll do that Thursday.
Sounds good.
We'll kind of lay out like an EMP protection plan for everybody. We've done go bags, bug out bags, and shit like that. So we'll do that. I know we covered EMP on here live before, but it's been a long time ago. We've got new followers, so we'll do that. We'll do that.
Okay.
Y'all agree with that in the chat? Give us some feedback. Yep. I know Highlander's all in.
Oh yeah. He's right. Aluminum foil will work too in some circumstances.
If you happen to have a copper steel laying around, there's some tricks you can do with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but my neighbors do.
I meant copper material, copper material. Back then. Back, let's circle back.
Oh. All right.
It was a fun night. I'm glad to be back, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, that felt good.
Just these last couple weeks, man, it's just been insane.
Yep. One thing or another.
Well, y'all know 2 of my vehicles got smacked by a fucking pine tree.
Are they total?
During the Hurricanada. No. My little travel car that I bought, you know, for that I have to peel myself in and out of, but it's good on gas. They got the trunk and the tail light of it, and then it just busted the tail light out of my truck. So yeah. And we're talking an old pine tree. This thing's probably 36 inches at the base.
Wow.
That's pretty good size.
Yeah. So it fell towards the house, but it hit a live oak tree that's right by the house.
Yeah.
That glanced it and kept it from hitting the house. So I was going to cut that tree down, that live oak, and build on another section to my house. And I'm leaving it.
Yeah, you might want to.
That's right. It saved your house, man.
That's right. It's don't cut me down.
Matter of fact, I'm going to go out there and put a bow on it.
That's right.
I'm going to start decorating that tree for every holiday. But yeah, I mean, it got bad here. I mean, it was crazy. Crazy.
I hear you. All right.
But anyway, yeah, we'll do that. We'll jump into that Thursday and along with a bunch of other stuff. But we can fill up an entire hour easily talking about EMP stuff.
Yep. All the stuff's out there and different ideas. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, good deal, Sax man. You want to leave them with some extensive knowledge on our
Sure. Let's see. Don't trust your government. Be prepared. Actually, get prepared. And golly, it's good to be back. That's all I got.
Nice. See what you got, bud.
Oh, let's see here. If you're not strapped, get strapped. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep those you love close to you, because there's going to come a point in time where no help's coming. You are the help. If you're not ready, get ready. That's all I got.
Nice. All right, so we got a couple things in the works, everybody. I don't know if y'all realize that the notifications actually went out a little better. So I changed the column or the category that our channel falls into. Now it's more educational / comedy, right? So maybe it'll get out there a little better. I will also be revamping the streams. I'm looking at some other platforms to use. When I say platforms, I'm talking streaming. Outlets, right? Like StreamYard, but maybe some others. So I'm looking at that. It just allows us to be able to do more things, be able to share information, videos, things of that nature on here. I will tell y'all, they were talking about getting ready and stuff like that, and I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon with Sax, man. I am a prepper. A lot of people know this. T knows this. Sax. Any of y'all that's been around me, you know this.
Yep.
Never think that you're ready, ever. Okay, you can always change something or up something to make yourself better prepared, right? I'm actually looking into putting in a big kind of my own water distillery system.
Nice.
Be able to cook off my own water and stuff like that and clean it up if need be.
Ooh, and moonshine.
Stuff like that, right? So you're never prepared enough, but always be ready. If you keep that mindset, you can't go wrong. Okay. I know a lot of you are good natured. You want to help everybody out, but if we go into a situation, and we're going to call it a code red situation, actually we'll call it a red dawn situation, right? If we go into something like that, you cannot help everybody. You've got to protect what's in your control, which is in your four walls. So keep that in mind. But anyway, I don't want to keep on running down. I'll get on another damn trail here in a minute. But anyway, thank y'all for hopping on here with us. We enjoy it. We are glad to be back. Everything should hopefully, knock on wood, be on the straight and narrow. We'll keep doing this. So Thursday we'll cover EMP, so y'all be prepped for that. Anybody that has extenuating knowledge of that, you're more than welcome to jump on here. We would appreciate it. I mean, we're going to Google up some shit, but that's the way it is. But anyway, take care, everybody. T, Sax, man, as always, thank y'all. Everybody out there in the live chat, appreciate y'all being here, and we'll see y'all Thursday.
Night, everyone.
Night, y'all.
Later.